Hey guys, welcome to the woods. Well, I put my arm up one time to hold the camera just a second as I sat down on these really awesome rocks, by the way. Can't really get a sense of how big they are, but they're massive. So anyway, and they go up the hill. But anyway, and I can hear the highway in the background, so I thought I'll try these headphones and maybe the sound will be better for you guys, because I've done them near the highway before and it just ruins the video. But anyway, here I sit. I got to say something, but I was going to say my arm is already feeling it. Like I've been walking a long way. Saturday, I don't have any work to do in the morning. So anyway, all right. I was going to talk about stuff I'm meditating on. Basically, that's the theme of all these. Assertion. The fact of knowing vibrationally as your energy ball that you really are. You knowing and owning the fact that there is no assertion from the outside. There's no struggle, trauma, experience, nothing comes in from the outside and gives us hardship or difficulty. And somehow we got twisted in there that that's what happens. Difficulties are given to me, and it's because I'm not worthy, because I need to be put in a difficult situation, because I haven't earned my seat at the right hand of God the Father, that type of stuff. It's you don't have to have gone to a religious school or studied it for a living to know that all cultures basically have some type of narrative about that. And another one about love and the connection and the oneness and the powers of being connected, tuned in, tapped in, turned on, as I like to say. Being aware of the energy ball that you really are. When you're in that mindset, in that meditative state in your day, it's important to lock down some things while you're feeling positive about things. And one I try to play with is this reminding myself there is no assertion. It's a little bit beyond even really, like there's no victims. I was told, 30, 40 years ago, Deepak Chopra had a little cassette series I used to plug in and listen to in my car every day going to work for a long time, and I go back to it. And then Conversations with God, I had those tapes, and I listened to that story over and over again, all to deprogram my sense of who I thought I was in relation to the energy around me, and whether I was being suppressed on or steered or controlled or manipulated or even appreciated and loved by that outer energy that meets us. However that happens, right? It could be your spouse, whatever little trigger outside of you experience. It's that sense of this energy vibration that I'm talking about. But I want to talk about an energy vibration words because I think it helps you sort of fuss through this stuff. That part I'm sure of. You're never going to get to spiritual enlightenment, peace of mind and body, and connection to all that is. You're not going to get that without having a sense of who you really are and what's going on around you. You can't get at it by fussing through things. You're not going to create that. You're not going to make that in your life. You're not going to bring that in your life. You're not going to go get that. That's why they call it the art of allowing. The art of allowing in your life. That's the only obstacle. I block out and I keep away. My unworthiness holds it back. But that's okay, because we don't want it all at once. We're here on planet Earth playing in this paradigm of there being space-time reality when we know there is no space-time reality. And we just want to have an experience. So where would you want to go with that? Just personal freedom of choice, freedom to be and freedom to express, and feeling that confidence to know that you have something to bring and that your strengths are there for you to be a specific flower, as I like to say. Because it's not something like really you need to do. So if you got art in you, do it in the art. If you've got connections to any kind of vibration where you can express yourself, there's a million of them. This is one right here, right? I really think there's something magical about putting your phone in front of you and professing who you really are when you're in a good state of knowing and tuned in, tapped in, turned on. And assertion, no assertion, is a good one to chew on. The other one is the worthiness. So what brings it in? If there's nobody holding it back, what am I doing? What's my connection? Why is not all peace and joy flooding into my life? Actually, it is. But I still play with it, right? So I'm trying to get like 3 times a day, I'm really as deep as I can be. And then you start linking them. And next thing you know, by the next day, you got all of them linked. You're feeling up all day. Nothing, sort of those tricky triggers come through and you're just loving on yourself and feeling like, I really like the way you're handling things. And I'm really impressed with your ability to stay tuned in, tapped in, turned on. And saying positive things to and about yourself is the whole game. You've got to get really good at it. So let's play it from another angle. Let's say, well, Danny, that sounds wacky. All right, imagine a person, all of us have some sense of our body type and our something. Why does anybody go to the gym? Why does anybody go on a diet? We're all about physical fitness, diet, exercise, all that stuff. We're obsessed with it, right? So different people, different levels, so don't take it personal. we all have it. But anyway, that sense of ourselves. You ever notice you can say something really positive to somebody, but they never take it and own it, but to the level that they feel they deserve it. So you see somebody beautiful, she doesn't feel beautiful, you say you're beautiful, it doesn't make any difference, whether it's your spouse or whoever it is, right? It really, you can see when some people really absorb it, mostly young people, children and stuff, they're just caught off guard, like, oh, well, that's such a nice thing to say. But as you get older, you find people, they have their limiter on where they won't take in a compliment. And we all have them, so it's okay. But that's what you're fussing with. I want to be able to take in the compliment, the gift of life, which is what manifestation's all about. I want to allow in the gifts of life by appreciating the perfection of who I am and improving on my self-worthiness. So I got to speak highly of myself, same as the person who's got a body type concern. They will need to love on themselves more to then take in the better appreciation vibration. So I was pictured as a woman, but if a woman doesn't have a good self-image, they're not going to marry somebody who has a good self-image because they'll be challenged by them. And so they sort of keep bringing themselves into a same struggle over and over and over again until they feel worthy of a better relationship. But that goes for both in the relationship. So I'm not judging either one. I'm not judging any of us because we all are on a barometer. It's all a scale. So it's no judgment to say where you are on the scale. And I'm not even really getting into anybody's where you are on the scale. But it's just another little nudge to get in the direction of loving on yourself is the key. And you got to own that. So the more of these little examples, I think that helps you kind of own it. Here's another one for you real quick. You walk around the corner and bang, come around on the sidewalk. Big dog right there. Now, if you're a dog lover or you've owned one of those dogs, then you're like, aw. And if you're never really had a dog, and this one's big, and it's kind of caught you off guard, then you'll be a little bit like, whoa, whoa. And, not much of a reaction, but that's not your thing. You're not used to dogs and stuff. Now, if you come around the corner and that type of dog has been aggressive to you before in your past, and you never had dogs, right? You all know that kind of person. Some people are that kind of person. No judgment, because we all have our own little triggers. So this is just an example of a trigger. You come around the corner, you've been attacked by that kind of dog, you don't like that kind of dog, you never really had dogs, and you've got a real fear thing going on, and you're backing sideways around the sidewalk to try to get away from them without being too strange, and the dog barks and growls. Now, the dog picked up on your energy. And you pick up on your energy, and the other person picks up on the energy, and the whole planet feels the vibration. Sorry, I'm going to get you guys dizzy for a second. I'm going to move my arm. So, that way I can see my other hand. But I really like having both hands. That's the only problem with not carrying my backpack and not having my little phone holder. So, sorry if the camera's moving too much. I try to remind myself of that. And I hope the road's not too loud. But here's our final points. When you're thinking about this dog situation and the vibrational transfer that happens between people, that's what life is all about. That's the experience you're after. That's the things you want to be sifting through. Those trigger emotions and things like that. And just whatever feels funny, that's what needs some love, So you could say, well, maybe I'll go hang out with that kind of dog and get to know one that's really friendly, and maybe I'll walk a dog for a while, whatever, if that's what you wanted to challenge yourself with. But you don't really need to go and fix that. You don't need to do all the work. You don't need to unwind it all. You just need to realize that it's just an old trigger, and I can let that go. But there's a million old triggers, and a lot of it's our whole paradigm of who we really are, and this whole assertion thing that I was talking about from the beginning, that there's stuff out there that gives us trouble, and we're just trying to deal with it. And I take my lot, and I've got commitment to other people. And where does commitment to another person come into the equation? It's more important than self-love, really. You think about it, really, in society. We'll put more importance. You can be hateful to yourself and talk all kinds of nasty to yourself. You can even beat yourself up if you want to, physically, and abuse yourself and torture yourself and commit suicide slowly by drugging yourself or, whatever other means that people do it. You can do that, but you're pulling at, where did I want to go with that exactly? I'm so sorry. That's a tough one when you don't. Because sometimes it's like you're on that vibration and you've got a picture in your head. The picture snaps and goes away. It's like, recreate the picture? That's tough to do. So, little insight into how this works. You're really feeling this information. It's not about thinking it. It's like, what do I want to own? That sense of lack of assertion is what I was starting with, right? That starts it going again. You feel the connection again. You feel the sense of oneness of the whole universe. And you go to the helicopter view and you get your rhythms in place with your breath, and you go back. And I don't need to remember where that story picked up or where the dog story left off, but loving on another dog would be a good positive thing. And that story about your self-image is the only way you can take in a compliment, and that sense of the world bounces back at you, what you bounce at the world, that's the dog example. Those two things, that's the kind of the overview of what we're really after. You just want to love and gratitude and acceptance of yourself. You're the most important person in the universe. You're the only person in the universe who should be of any concern to you. And to think that we need to go out into Facebook world or something like that, which is where I'm posting this, which is ironic, but that's why I'm posting it here. Because, this is where we come together to find out if we're really worthy. Yeah. This is how you find if you're appreciated by others. Well, there's no appreciation by others that means anything. There's only appreciation from yourself. Self-appreciation is the only way that the universe can give you any of these gifts. It's the only way you can hear the compliment from your lover is if you love yourself and you feel beautiful, then the compliment from your lover can be integrated and you feel it and you go, oh, thank you, let me give you one back. That's not, everyone has their limit around that. So there's a point for everyone where that basically stops. And it stops at that point of feeling worthy, feeling loved. Love on yourself, and all the beauty and the perfection that's all around you will come in and flood your life. That's the one dial. That's it. Happiness dial. Anyway, all right, 13 minutes. I think that's a good place to kind of wrap it up. I hope my arm isn't moving too much. I should come up with another method. I don't know what that is. I don't want to carry the backpack all day. The weather right now, right? Beautiful. So you get a little more skip in your pace, and I don't know if I can lug it around a backpack. So anyway, but my mouth's getting dry. I got to get back to my truck. At least that's my sort of stopping point. Go there, get some stuff, get my water, and go back out because it's a weekend. And it's all day, 24-hour meditation for 2 days. And people come into your life, and you just stay in your sense of everything's perfect, and I'm always safe, always protected, always loved, and always doing the right thing. And I'll just feel my way through my weekend, and everything will be perfect. And then you extend that into your life. You'll just feel your way through. Abraham Hicks, she has a great way of explaining it. She talks about segment intending. Every time before you get in your car, you ground yourself, people would say, or you just get in that sense of, think about the helicopter view for a second. Think about yourself being in this perfect spot of the 24,000-year journey around the galaxy that the planet's on. We're in springtime. Now the planet now, we're in fall. Fall's a beautiful time. But springtime's got its awesomeness. Good things are coming our way. We're in the spring high vibration direction projectile through the galaxy. And I know it's a lot to throw on you if you've never heard that before. But anyway, there's science to back it. But it's just we don't want to look from that big a helicopter view of who we really are. We're just energy balls with these planets swirling around that create energy out of particles just like they do in the cells in our body. It's all the same, whether it's huge or small. It's all the same principle. The law of attraction is real, and it's not a condemnation if you don't love where you are. You just can change your paradigm of loving where you are quite easily. But it's these little nudges that I was talking about today I'm not going to go back into, but your self-image, your fear of things around, your judgment of things around you, it comes out. It's part of you. You can fuss with it. Just got to get reminders. That's why I think really, like, make videos like this, watch other people who make videos like this, and follow a bunch of people on Facebook that do the same thing. I mean, on YouTube. YouTube has a lot more of it. That's why I'm here, with you fine folks. Anyway, I like Facebook. I'm older, so we grew up with the Facebook. That's what it is. I just don't want to figure out the new technology, so here I am. I feel like I have some divine plan, reaching the right audience or something. Nothing to do with it. I just go with dumb luck like everybody else does. I just feel my way through, and when I do something that I say, well, I could have done that better, I'm like, shame, shame. Why are you thinking about something you could have done better? This is what you needed to do, what you wanted to experience first. If you feel there's something better, just know that's what's coming. I'm not here to prove myself to anybody, and not to complain about what I've accomplished so far in my life, or to be fearful of trying anything I feel my little heart desires. I just lean that direction and know it's coming. All right, now I've gone a little over 15 minutes, so I'm out. And I love you guys, and don't forget, love on yourself. I think it's not only the first place, it's like, just stop there. Sit in your little love nest bomb and watch the world blossom around you. Take me up on that challenge. All right, guys. See ya.